Hi everyone, welcome back to If My Heart Had Wings, Flight Diary, Akari's Route, Episode 2. So, Episode 1 was mostly about introductions. So, we got to see Akari's perspective of many of the events that happened from the original If My Heart Had Wings, the big title. So, starting from when Akari was about to shut down the Soaring Club for lack of members and lack of activities. And then also when Akari revived the Soaring Club after Toriyuki Sensei shut it down for his reasons. And now Akari is kind of skeptical about, so I wonder what this club will do. So she's looking at the new secret base, and I think it's more like, well, I want to make sure this club is sustainable, and I have a good reason to write my proposal to the faculty members. So we know that Tsurugi Sensei is 100% against the Soaring Club. Well, for this part. Because it's different when we go to Amai's route. But anyways, so Akari got to sit inside the cockpit for the glider, and she got to see the different controls that they use to fly the glider. And when it's time for Akari to get out of the cockpit, I think something happens because she goes, ow. So let's see why. So, are you okay? I'm okay. Akari groans. Her face is so close, it fills my entire field of vision. And we are both on the floor now with Akari sprawled on top of me. And she tripped and started to fall on her way out of the glider. I tried to catch her, but had only ended up going down too. And I thought she's blushing before, now her face is bright red. So basically, I was too overconfident, so I should have had some help getting out of the cockpit, because it's my first time. No, it's fine. So are you sure you're not hurt? I think so. So I just feel a little shaken up and that's all. So nothing serious. Okay, good. So that's relief. So? So what is it now? Do you think you could get off of me now? So you're on me. Okay. Akari begins to move, but she could not actually get up. So it's hard for me to get up from here. And she must have been in shock. It would take a moment for her body to process what had happened. I just have to help her to her feet, I decided. But it requires Aoi to actually hug her for a bit. Well, you can't get up on your own, and we can't just stay here all day, or lay here all day. And don't go screaming like I'm the weird one here. Well, I'm not cropping, so it's the only way for us to get up. Well, I'm sure at this point she can't. Okay, whatever you say. So I'll let you try.
それから目をつむってて恥ずかしいから。
Okay, alright, so I'll let you attempt. And faced with the teary-eyed look she's giving me, and at such close quarters, how could I say no?
ついでに口もよ。これ以上余計なこと言わないように。
And I don't remember any kind of comments up until now, but I did as I was told and clammed up nonetheless. So Akari slowly raises herself above me.
いやー、濡れちゃったよ。傘さしてたのにびっしょびしょ。
And I think this is the wrong time, so now Ageha and Kotori are here.
もう髪が傷んじゃう。
So the rain is bad.
これというのもみんな葵くんのせいだわ。葵くん、部長の私を差し置いて先に行った平部員の水瀬葵くん、至急出頭しなさい。
So basically, me first. So you're supposed to help the club leader, and it's wrong that you left me abandoned.
出てこないときついお仕置きを。
And this is where Kotori sees what's going on.
うおっと。
Ageha and Kotori walks in at the worst possible moment to see Akari and me entangled in each other's arms. Or so I assumed, and my eyes are still closed. I opened them for a moment long enough to realize the awful truth. So Kotori and Ageha are looking at us like this.
こんにちは。
Good afternoon?
チース。
Hello?
チース。これは。
So let me explain.
いや、うちら何も見てないね。ねえ、小鳥。お。
So even though they say no, I'm sure in their minds like, so let's see, the student council president is up to something no good. And so is Aoi-kun, or Aoi.
違うの。これはそういうことじゃなくて、だからそんな顔するのはやめなさい。じゃあ、どういうことなのかしら？
Okay, so tell me what happened.
こういう場面を見られた人はみんなそういうのよ。お邪魔しました。ほら行くわよ、小鳥。
So please excuse us.
ちょっとアゲハ、どこ連れて行くの？もっとちゃんと観察しないと状況の正確な把握が。
So for Ageha, it's like, well, I think it's better if we talk about this in secret.
待って、行かないで。
Wait,
私
so
の話を聞いて。
you got the wrong idea.
葵くん、目を閉じてたわ。私が思うに、あれって生徒会長が葵くんに。多分そうね。葵から手を出すとも思えないし。お楽しみのところ、申し訳ないことしちゃったわね。
So it looks more like Akari's trying to... I'm not sure how to say it, but anyways.
違うのよ。
But it's not like that, so it's all wrong. And Akari lets out a piteous cry that echoes all throughout the hangar. So I screwed this up royally. And what is going this to mean for the club? I closed my eyes again as if I could shut out reality and hide them from this disaster I brought on myself. Well, it's more like it's Akari's fault because she said, "Don't help me," and she tripped and fell over, and she still wants to go with the "Don't help me, I can get up on my own."
なんだ、そうだったんですか。
Okay, so now that they're up, I think Ageha can understand. Okay, so that's what happened.
いや、びっくりしちゃいましたよ。私てっきり部の復帰申請の見返りに生徒会長が葵くんを手ごめにしようとしてるのかと思ったわ。人聞きの悪いこと言わないでください。
So it looks like you're asking for favors because, or in an attempt to get this Soaring Club approved. He. At this point, I could only laugh in a hollow kind of way.
本当に違うの、葵くん。もしそうなら、それはパワハラというやつよ。 部長である私が代わりに訴えてあげるわよ。
So, just let us know. So, is she being too dominant and trying to...
いやいや、それならもっと人の来ない場所でするでしょ。
Well, at least Ageha's analysis of the situation is more logical. It's still a little short of the truth, though.
だからしませんってば。
So, okay, all you girls are getting the wrong ideas. And I'm really sorry about this.
いいのよ。悪いのは私ですから。あなたの忠告を素直に聞いていれば、こんなことにはならなかったんですもの。
And at least Akari admits that it's her fault. So, I went out on my own and I'm sorry for not asking you for help. But, it's still kind of bad.
お願いだから謝らないで。余計に恥ずかしいから。
And I've never seen Akari so flustered before.
まあまあ、冷たいものでも飲んで頭冷やしてくださいな。
Ageha walks over to the refrigerator and takes out a couple of plastic bottles. Akari presses hers to her forehead for a few seconds before opening it up. And I took one too. So much had happened in the last few minutes to make me sweat, and I'm badly in need of some rehydration.
さてと、部活を始めましょうか。私たちは一刻も無駄にできないんだから。
Okay, so put all that aside, let's get to work.
そうね。朝ちゃんたちまだだけど、先に始めちゃいますか。
And plus, where are the other two, so the twins? Kotori and Ageha finally get bored of teasing us and turn their attention to the glider. Well, I better join them, so I can get you a chair if you need to observe more, Akari-san.
ありがとう。
So I think it's like, well, I think this is enough for today. I'll come back another day. So Akari sits down a little awkwardly in one corner of the hangar. And after making sure she had everything she needed, I got to work too. Okay, so here's a bottle, here's some towels, and if you need any more help, just give me a holler. And like Kotori says, we had a lot to do, to make up, to catch up. And we had a whole year of an activity to make up for. And I can't wait to get this thing in the air.
そういうこと。
Same here. And the easygoing mood we had going before disappeared as we all shifted into a more productive state of mind.
ああ、ダメダメ。積層が足りない。これじゃ強度不足になるよ。
So I think Kotori's getting more lessons about building the gliders. So okay, this is how you do FRPs. So fiber reinforced polymers.
こんなもんかしら。
Like this.
いいんじゃないかな。上手上手。その調子で丁寧にね。
There you go. So that is good.
あまねちゃんが作った私翼みたいに飛んでる最中に折れちゃったら大変だものね。
Well, I'm sure it's much better than before. So Ageha, can you take a look at this then?
は
Okay, so Akari is silently observing, and from her vantage point, a short distance away, Akari never took her eyes off of us. She's obviously taking this inspection very seriously. Or I think it's like she's wondering about something.
ねえ小鳥、あんた髪拭いたら？濡れたままでさっきから水滴垂れてるよ。
So you're here.
そうだ、あんまりびっくりすることがあって忘れてたわ。
Oops, I forgot.
葵くんにお仕置きしないと。
So what do I do to deserve this?
掃除当番だから待っててって言ったのに先に行っちゃったでしょ。
So you should have waited for me at school. So I told you I was on clean duty. So after I'm done, then we all head over to the dock or the secret base as a group. She had a point. Kotori had wanted to kick off the first meeting after our reinstatement, but then all the stuff with Akari happened. So I had to go with Akari instead. And it's really, really bad to abandon your club leader. And I'm sure it's like, well, I'm the one who brought this back to life, so... And how are those two events even connected? I'm sure it's more like, well, I want you to accompany me, so give me the umbrella and you push me over here. And how's this my fault? Okay, fine, so I'll wipe your hair. I toss a towel to Kotori's head, and it's still so it's the same one that I given to Akari, but it's still mostly unused. And while I'm there, I ruffle her hair to dry it off. Well, anything else, Your Majesty? So, I'm trying my best to make your hair dry without damaging it. I made my movements more gentle, trying to imitate the way I've seen hairdressers do it. Now, that's more like it. Ha ha ha, okay, sorry. And what about for Akari? All of a sudden, the hairs on the back of my neck began to tingle, and I turn around to see Akari glaring at us. Whoops, I couldn't have her thinking we are just using these club meetings to goof off, so we gotta show some productivity, and it's not just a hangout. Oh, so the bigger problem's that, I see those two close together, and that's interesting. Okay, so that's good. Hair all dried and all shiny and... Well, it's still wet. Okay, you can do the rest yourself. I hand Kotori the towel and got back to work. So the rest of it should be easy for you to do. And in silence, I had to look busy. I had to show Akari we meant business. So must have worked. After a few minutes, she stopped looking so severe. And feeling relieved, I pick up the bottle I put to one side. Man, so it's hot, and I wish we could get some AC in here. So the heat and rain together had made the air in the hangar uncomfortably humid, so it's hot and humid. And I took a gulp of juice and felt a little more refreshed. Hey, that's my juice. Oh, sorry. And apparently I picked up the wrong bottle, so we were drinking the same brand and flavor, so it's hard to tell them apart. Okay. Oh, so hold on for a second. So I'll get you a new one. No thanks. Aga snatches the bottle out of my hands and took a drink from it. So basically, she just accepted the indirect kiss. Hey, you're way too laid back sometimes. So any problems? Indirect kiss? You dummy? Okay, so now the twins arrive. I'm sorry, we're late. Hello, from Yoru.
これでも走ってきたんですよ。
So I think they got carried away, and the teacher was so passionate, saying, "Oh, this is great. So let's talk more. And I like to do this and that, and that costed Asa time.
おかげでずぶ濡れ。外すごい雨だったわ。
And plus, it's hard to walk through the rain like this. And come to think of it, the noise of the rain had gone louder for a while, and it sounded like it's easing up now though. Okay, so come here, Asa. So now it's time for me to dry your hair. I grab a fresh towel and help Asa dry herself off like I done for Kotori. There you go.
ありがとうございます。
Thanks?
姉さん子供みたい。お風呂上がりにお父さんに拭いてもらってるみたいになってるわよ。そんなに小さくないもん。
Well, I'm not a kid.
でも葵先輩の手大きいです。
But
なんだか安心感がありますね。
I like the feel of Aoi Senpai's hands. They're big and comfortable and warm. Aha, well, thanks, I guess. But please don't go comparing me to the dad.
どうせなら一緒にお風呂に入って背中流しっこでもすれば？
So how about he gives you a bath then?
それはさすがに。
Well, anyways, so it's not going to happen.
わかってますよ。やだな。
Of course. And there's a sharp clatter as Akari stands up. Everyone turns their heads looking towards her.
そろそろ失礼するわ。
Well, sorry, so I better get going. And the way she's speaking, you think she just witnessed something downright obscene.
どうやら健全な部活動のお邪魔のようですから。
She snorts, grabbing her bag and strode briskly out the door. Wait, Akari? She ignores me and kept going.
何あれ？どうしちゃったの？さあ。
So I wonder if Aoi went after Akari or he just let her be. So the things that Akari feels that, it's kind of strange. So all the club members are so close to each other, and it's more like family versus club members. And I wonder what reservations she has for it. I stomp on my way down Windmill Hill, venting my stress on the wet grass underfoot. And fortunately, the rain has started to clear up, and things could be worse.
何よ。デレデレして。
There you go. I complained to the thin air in front of me. And the damp breeze that blew around the top of the hill gradually brought me back to my senses though.
何をイライラしてるのかしら。
And it's more like she's jealous. I stormed out so suddenly I could only imagine what Aoi, Kun, and the others thought of me. And probably that I'm some kind of weirdo that got worked up over nothing. But I probably have blown up in a big way if I stayed there even a second longer. And here I'm always thought I had a good handle on my emotions. And somehow the Soaring Club had a way of getting under my skin. And she remembers the time when she was in the cockpit. So Mane and I went up one day at the end of last summer. And she showed me that place that she's been working towards all the time. And we still could not make it, though it's really sucked and we were so close. It's been so long and I can't wait to fly again. I'm sure Kotori and Ageha feel the same. So I'm really, really grateful of you. I mean so. And at least I learned how passionate Aoi was about gliders and stuff. I had to admit, in that respect, he seemed like a decent guy. And that enthusiasm was infectious too. So I had to look away from him. My heart would have pounded right out of my chest. And that part of why I didn't want to take his hand when he tried to help me out of the cockpit.
人がせっかく見直してあげようと思っていたのに。
And my temper had got the better of me.
女の子が来た途端、あの低たらく、チャラチャラデレデレして、やっぱりあの子は。だって、あかりちゃんがそういう顔してる時って、だいたい葵くんが原因なんだもん。
And I think Kanako's words kind of got Akari thinking in the other direction.
別に彼が特別なわけじゃないわ。不真面目な生徒に対してはいつもこうよ。
But then again, this is the job of the president for the student council, so I took out the juice Ageha had given me, and maybe a drink would help me clear my thought. As I am raising it to my lips, a sudden thought made me stop.
水瀬葵が口をつけたのはこのペットボトルじゃないのよ。
Uh-oh. And in my head, I know it is not, but for some reason, it's hard to shake the idea. And obsessing over little things would not help me cool off. And now, okay, so I already did go after Akari. So, Akari? And just as I made up my mind, Aoi appears and almost makes me choke. Akari? I took a quick couple of breaths and turned to face him.
何かしら?
So, what can I do for you? Well, I thought maybe you were upset somehow, or we upset you.
そんな風に見えたのならごめんなさい。でも、気にする必要はないわ。
Well,
あれが私の平常運転なの。
So, that's not the case. So, I apologize if I gave you the wrong idea. Even I'm surprised at how prickly I was acting towards him. And I got the wrong idea of sassification watching Aoi's second guess himself try not to offend me any further though. And when did my sense of values got me so worked up?
要件はそれだけ?
So, is that all? Well, oh no. So, there is one more thing. So, take this. And he hands me a plastic umbrella. So, you'll need this on your way back. It might rain more again. And they probably kept a couple of spares in the base of theirs. So, just in case it starts raining again. There you go.
ありがとう。じゃあ遠慮なく借りようかしら。私が濡れても髪を拭いてくれる人はいませんから。
And I'm embarrassed at how much spite I let spill into my voice. And I could not bear to let Aoi-kun see me like this.
それじゃ。
I think it's more like she's calling him Nase-kun. So anyways, yes. Oh, so once the glider is finished, we're planning to take it out on a test flight.
ええ、ご自由にどうぞ。
And would you like to come and watch it when it happens? And it could be a great way to see firsthand that putting your faith in us is not a mistake. And the sincerity of his expression left me at a loss for words. But the stubbornness side of me soon reasserts itself.
考えておくわ。
Well, I'll think about it. And with that, I turn away, leaving Ase-kun to worry. Oh, so to hurry back to the hangar. And glancing back, I watched until he disappeared into the distance. And as he returned to the Soaring Club's new headquarters, I once again raised the bottle to my lips. Okay, so time for my refreshment. And once again, I stopped just short of taking a drink, and it reminded me of Mase-kun too much. And I screwed the lid back on and made my way home. So it's obvious that Akari's jealous, and I wonder at what part. So is it because Aoi has too many girls all over him, or is it because she's afraid that Aoi might suck her in as well? So anyways, going back to the Flying Fish Manor. So it is pretty strange if you ask me. What do you mean?
生徒会長って葵くんのこと好きなんじゃないかしら。
Wait, no. So where did that come from? I nearly spat my drink out all the way down my shirt.
ああ、やっぱりそう思うよね。
And why are you girls talking about this? That doesn't even make sense. But it looked like I'm the only one who thought that way.
ほい。
And it looks like, so even though Asa and Yoru didn't see what happened, they kind of agree with Kotori and Ageha.
そうね。
Everyone else acts like it's barely worth commenting, so... And having wrapped up our first day, we are celebrating and talking about our hopes for the future. But the subject of conversation had worked its way around to Akari's strange behavior and now her romantic inclinations too.
昔から葵にだけ態度が変だったよね。そうそう、普段は公正です私って顔してるのにすっごい変。ありえない。
So it seems that she's putting some bias on you, and that's in contrast to her usual attitude.
今日なんて私とアゲハが行った時、生徒会長が葵くんを襲おうとしてたし。
And we still can't forget about what happened.
本当ですかそれ？本当よ？ねえアゲハ。
So it happened, right, Ageha?
なんだ。倒れた葵に覆いかぶさって、葵は葵で目を閉じて、まるでこうキスされるのを待ってるみたいだった。
Uh-oh, so that's the interpretation that Kotori and Ageha have. Hey, geez, so you don't have to build it up like this. But that's what it looks like.
キス？へえ。
And even Yoru leans towards to hear more about the revelation, intrigued despite herself. Well, I told you already, so it's all a misunderstanding, so there's nothing special happening between us.
それがやっぱり誤解じゃないとしたらって話だよね。
And what if it's not that? So what is that supposed to mean?
盛り上がってるね若者たち。
So what about Kanako? And at that point, Kanako walks into the dining hall or the cafeteria.
ねえカナ、どうなの？何の？
So what do you think?
ズバリ、あかりさんって葵に気があったりするんじゃないですか？どうだろうね。
So I wonder. And opening the fridge to find some desserts, Kanako pauses to consider the question.
あるかも。
Well, it looks like it.
やっぱり。本当ですか、かなこさん。葵さん、手が止まってますよ。
And I've been about to take a sip of tea, but my hand had frozen up with the cup halfway to my mouth. And judging by her smirk, Yoru is the only one who notices, and I did my best to shrug it off. So no, so there's nothing going on for me. And come on, Kanako, don't encourage them. There's no way she feels the same way about me.
だね。やっぱないかも。どっちなんですか?
Well, so let us know what's going on.
あかりちゃんってよく葵くんのこと話題にするのよね。
So she did talk a lot about you.
ほうほう。
So it is interesting and suspicious.
どんな風に? 女子寮の寮母をやってるハレンチ男とか、どうにも信用の置けないやつだとか、きっと口がうまい詐欺師に違いないとか。
So he's basically a womanizer. So one, living in an all-girls dormitory, and two, he feels like some kind of con man. Hey, wait. So she could not like me any less of if she tried. So.
そうかも。
Well, there's one way looking at that.
いや、わかんないよ。嫌いも好きのうちって言うし。
So that's another likely outcome. So she's covering up.
少なくとも気にはなってるってことよね。いないところでわざわざ話題にするんですもの。ズバリ、どうなんでしょう。
And it's making Asa excited. So how does she feel?
わかんない。
I don't know. Kanaka laughs off the question, grabs a yogurt from the fridge, and disappears back to her room. And far from helping, she only raised more questions and left the rest of us to puzzle over them.
違うのかな? 好きか嫌いかのどっちかだね。中間はありえないと思う。
And they are all enjoying gossiping about this a little too much for my liking.
葵くんと生徒会長、案外いいカップルになると思うんだけど。お似合いですよね。確かに、優等生同士絵になるかも。ねえ、みんなこう言ってるけど、葵はどう思ってるの?
Well, I had a feeling my opinion would not stop the others from wildly speculating. So they all think that there is some relationship going on between the student council president Akari and Aoi. And how about we change the subject? So we're supposed to be discussing the Soaring Club and its work right now. So none of that Akari stuff.
ごまかした。
Okay, so you're trying to dodge the question.
露骨にね。
And I did my best to dodge. So doggedly push forward. So come on, let's go back to the topic at hand. So the Soaring Club. And they're like, oh, so you're trying to hide or dodge yourself or prevent yourself from answering the questions about you and Akari. And I think we could be ready for a test flight sometime during summer vacation, and if we keep the current pace with our modifications.
そうね。朝ちゃんも手際良くなってきたし、だいぶ工期を短縮できそうよ。偉いわよ、朝。頭撫でてあげる。はい、褒められました。
So I did good. So I say we should take this opportunity to put together a definite plan for what we are going to work on after this.
そうね。葵くんと生徒会長の話はその後にしましょう。
But don't think that I'm going to end that topic. So we will talk about the Akari and Aoi-kun thing later. Kotori had been right through my attempt to steer the conversation in another direction. For now. And nonetheless, the Soaring Club is back and once more shooting for the stars, or more accurately, the sky, and I'm sure for the morning glory. And even in the midst of all this light-headed banter, I could feel everyone's determination taking form. And the future looks bright for all of us. But then, so what's next?
ごめんなさい。
Okay, so at school, the next day, Akari calls Kotori and Ageha and me into the student council room one day, saying that she has something important to tell us. And as soon as we got there, she bows in apology. So, is there something wrong? Well, actually...
あかりさん、ここは俺が。
Okay, so I'll tell them if you can't do so. So Masasugu had been standing by to the side all this time, even so when he tried to move forward, so Akari pushes him back.
いえ、私からお話しします。
No, it makes more sense for me to tell them.
一体何なの、会長。あなたたちソアリング部の部活への復帰は職員会議で却下されました。
So the Soaring Club proposal has been rejected by the faculty, and we know why.
どうしてですか？条件は整っているのに。
But we met all requirements.
厳密にはまだ却下はされていないのだけれど、一部の先生が強硬に反対し、結論はうやむやになったそうよ。
So it's just one person, and we know who that person is. She didn't have to tell us which teacher had objected. We had a pretty good idea already.
ダメよ、そんなの。承認されなきゃ却下されたのと同じじゃない。
But if it's not approved, then that means it's rejected. Akari looks uncomfortable. We met every single condition you set out for us, and what problem could the faculty possibly have with us?
望月先輩は臨時の講師であり、またお忙しい身でもあるわ。
Okay?
クラブの顧問は荷が重いのではないかというのが反対していた先生方の言い分よ。そんなの天音先輩の勝手じゃないですか。先輩はやってくれるって言ってるのに。
But she took on the offer, so she's willing to handle it.
ええ、私もそう思うわ。でも先生方はせっかくの望月天音というリソースを無駄に割くことに批判的なのよ。ちょっと無駄って何よ、無駄って。
So basically, we did all that for nothing.
お前らギャーギャーうるさいんだよ。あかりさんはな、お前らなんかのためにギリギリまで頑張ったんだぞ。
So, first of all, don't get angry at Akari-san because she's trying to help you out. So even though it's denied by the faculty, she'll try to help you fight for it. So I think it's like, well, you need more reasons and you need to make it more convincing so that the faculty will reconsider and approve the Soaring Club application.
あの飛び岡のおっさんのところにも直接乗り込んでいって。
いいの、田崎くん。もともとそういう約束だったんだもの。力が及ばなかったのは私のせいよ。責められても仕方がないわ。別に私らは生徒会長を責めたいわけじゃ。そうですよ。悪いのは先生で。
So, is there any way we can work around this? So, what can we do to...
このままうやむやにさせるつもりはありませんが、今すぐどうにかできる問題でもないと思います。ですから、我々生徒会がソアリング部を部活動として承認します。
But anyways, so we, the student council, will recognize you as an official club, even though it is still being or pending or under review by the faculty.
これが生徒会が発行した書類です。
And Akari hands us a document the student council had drawn up. It had the official stamp of approval and everything.
わずかですが、生徒会の予備予算から部費も出します。滑走路の件もこちらから連絡して使用許可をいただきました。
So now as a club, you get the privileges of being a club.
仕事早っ。何かあったら生徒会で引き受けます。とは言い切れないのが申し訳ないのだけれど。ですから慎重に、なるべく問題を起こさないようクラブ活動に勤しんでください。ありがと
Okay, so thanks a lot, Akari-san. And we pour out our gratitude for everything Akari has done for us.
あとそれから
And she called us back just when we are turning to leave.
以前学校の倉庫から紛失したグライダーですが
And we all tensed up.
もしどこかで発見されればそれはあなたたちのものよソアリング部の備品として好きに使ってくれていいわ
So the usual, if you find the glider, that glider is part of the Soaring Club. So Akari returns to her desk as if this is a bombshell had been the most, trifling of matters. And we thanked her again and left the council room.
なんかあかりさんに迷惑かけちゃったね
Yeah. And I hope defying the teachers like this would not end up landing her in trouble.
必ず飛びましょう生徒会長の心意気に報いるためにも
Yep.
そうね
So the Soaring Club is revived, and although it's not all smooth sailing, it felt like we've finally taken a big step forward. So it's obvious that the person or the teacher who pushed for the rejection is Tomioka Sensei. And he kind of brought up excuse about, Amane can't handle the responsibilities of being an advisor or the expert person, and she's a new teacher and has other things that she needs to worry about. And, well, I've already played through all the routes, so we get more revelation about what happens and what goes on. Especially for Kotori's route in the original If a Heart Had Wings. So anyways, it's now summer vacation. So class activities have been suspended in favor of studying for exams, but now we are free to concentrate on the glider again. And from morning to night, all our time is spent at the secret base. And no one uttered a single word of complaint though. In fact, we are all so absorbed in what we are doing, so time went by in a flash. And this year, the club spent in stasis had only fired us up to work even harder now. And there just is not many hours in the day to fit in everything we wanted to do. So at last, the day we've been waiting for has arrived.
積み込み急いでもうすぐあんちゃん来ちゃうよ
So I think it's time for a test flight. So the glider is fixed and modified, and went to the base early to load the glider onto the trailer. And it's finally time. We finished packing and are ready to head to the runway. And there's only one thing on our minds. So after months of hard work, the modifications to our glider is complete. There you go. And today, it finally gets its very first test flight. And while we're busy with our last minute preparations, someone appears in the doorsteps.
おはようございます
And Akari's here.
あかりさんいらっしゃいおはようございますどうも
Akari greets us as she comes in, looking a tad more nervous than usual. Good morning?
おはようみなせくん
Good morning, Nasi-kun. Her eyes and mine met for a moment, but I found myself looking away after a couple of seconds. Hey, so why did you have to put your ideas in my head, Kotori? And all that gossip shout about Akari maybe liking me had put me on edge around her. And now that I didn't believe any of it, Also, not that I believe any of it, the truth is obvious enough to me, even if everyone thought otherwise. And even so, I could not help but feel somewhat uncomfortable.
どうかしましたか?
So anything wrong? No, I'm fine. So excuse me, so I better get back to work. And I used that as an excuse to put some distance between us.
生徒会長
And Kotori returns from the office where she'd been rounding up some drinks and spare towels for everyone. And when she saw Akari, she wheeled herself over right away as if she's been waiting for her.
おはよう。よく来てくれたわね。おはようございます、ハバネさん。今日はよろしくお願いしますね。
So I look forward to today.
心ゆくまで楽しんでいって。葵くんがかっこいいとこ見せるから。水瀬くんは?
Wait, for Miyase-kun? Akari looks over to me. And wait, so geez, Kotori, what are you trying to get me into here? And Kotori is thoroughly convinced that Akari really did have some kind of crush on me. Or she wanted that to be the case at least. And she even started explaining Akari being here as some kind of fate.
葵くん
Right, Aoi-kun? And I'll get her back for this later somehow. Hey, so don't get your hopes up. It's just going to be a regular, ordinary flight.
分かっています。私は生徒会長としてソアリング部の活動状況を見学に来ただけですので。
And as usual, she's all business. And despite what I said, I would not have minded it if she expressed some kind of expectation on me. Maybe I'll try to be just a little flashy after all. Okay, so Anchan's here. Ageha had been keeping watch for our friend's arrival.
よう来たぞ。
あんちゃん、おはよ
So sorry to get you here so early.
何いいって。俺も楽しみだったんだ。あれが完成するのが。
And we are using Tatsuya's pickup truck to get the trailer to the runway.
もう準備はできてるのか?
So ready?
う。できてるの? バッチリよ。
Yep.
よし、じゃあ出発だ。
Okay, so once we arrive at the runway, it is time to start assembling the glider. Okay, so this is a perfect place to stop for this episode, and we'll see how it goes for the first test flight with the newly modified glider. And now, also, what Akari will think about this test flight. So, it's kind of hard to tell if Akari really does have feelings for Aoi, so it's currently all gossip and suspicions from the others. And I think the little incident, it might have got Akari to think otherwise. So anyways, I wonder what else Akari is thinking about for the Soaring Club. So she's more concerned about, well, this club is too close to each other, and it's more like Aoi's being the harem king, bringing all these girls under him. But the thing is that this is a small club, and being small, people get to spend more time with each other, as opposed to like the robotics club where there's 60 members. So a club so big, people don't really know each other, and they're just, I'll say it's more like come and go. So they come here, do something, and then they graduate. And I'm sure they built or have made different teams at trying to make different robots. And they submitted for the competition. And I think it's like, well, out of all the teams that we have for the Robot Club, we'll pick one to submit for the tournament. So anyways, we'll see how this test flight goes in the next episode.